already, but today, thank you, Katie. Today's going to be a very project-based learning day. Have thumbs up if you've heard of the term project-based learning. Ish. Okay, not everybody. Yeah, but so today we're going to learn through really doing a project ourselves and explore AI in that way, like FYI. And let's look at a course overview. We're in session 4 right now, and we've done AI fundamentals, custom GPTs. We've trained our own AI back on Tuesday, and we're here today. I do want to give a quick heads up. I think for the coming Tuesday, the timing is 7:15 to 8:45. I believe Katie, our other Katie, sent out a Google Calendar invite that make the class a little later. So I want to give a heads up for people. Yeah. So FYI, I think our other Katie is here as well. Miss Katie Franco. I was just talking about the next session on Tuesday. Can you confirm if it's 7:15 start time? If you're there. Okay, maybe she stepped away for a little bit. I'll ask the question again later. That's all right. Okay. And let's go into...
Sorry, can I interrupt you? I'm sorry. That was me.
It was
I'm
you?
like trying to move my settings like we all do, right? Like trying to move to this computer. So that was me. And I totally missed the question though until the very end. You're talking about the hackathon prep courses.
Oh, no problem. So yeah, that's with the two Katies. That's such an interesting
Very
phenomenon.
confusing. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I was asking if the start time for session number 5 was moved to 7:15. Do you know if that's the case?
No, it should be 7.
Okay, yeah, because I got an updated Google Calendar invite from Katie Franco.
Yeah,
that with the 7:15. So I wasn't sure. I was assuming it was 7:15.
No, 7.
Okay. Then just good for me to know as well. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem. And for our goals, so let's look at our session goals for today. We'll gain hands-on experience with generative AI to tell your story. We'll utilize AI skills that you learned from previous sessions in a creative and personalized context. We'll practice iterative prompting to refine prompts, improve AI outputs, and better communicate your story. Identify the strengths and weaknesses of various generative AI tools and reflect on whether the AI tools worked as expected, exceeded expectations, or fell short of expectations, and engage in collaborative exploration through facilitated discussions as usual. So I'm going to share 2 things. First of all, I'm going to share the link to this presentation. I want to make sure I don't forget about that. Let me put that in the chat. And I'm seeing now Kassia's response, a camping lantern fan. Nice. Okay, so here's the link to the slides. It's not too many slides today, because today, like I said, it's a very project-based learning day. And more importantly, I'll copy this link. I'll copy the instructions for Hack AI-a-thon challenge number 1 to the chat. So Hack AI-a-thon is really, it's a play on the word hackathon, but with AI. Okay, so we're going to use AI to do a bunch of, to just do a project today. And of course, we're going to have a little presentation at the end of today's class, okay? So let's go to the second link that I sent you guys, to the challenge instructions. And I wanna go over this a little bit with you guys. So I'm going to read this a little bit. So it's a tell your story challenge. What is that? So in this Hack AI-a-thon challenge, you will work with AI to elevate your creativity to produce an imaginative project centered around the concept of telling your story. This Hack AI-a-thon challenge is designed for you to be imaginative and recruit AI's help to achieve ambitious goals within the given time constraints. And the time constraint here, I would say you will have about, I want to say 50 minutes for this project, 50, okay? Think about it. With the use of AI, you are essentially working with a highly productive assistant to which various tasks can be outsourced. That said, your project is expected to reflect a scope of work that goes beyond what you'd expect from challenges that do not incorporate AI. And so it's up to you to decide how the work should be distributed between you and the AI tools you use. For example, questions like what decisions require human input, your input, versus what decisions could you rely on AI to make for you? So with this introduction, let's look at the project, what you're actually going to be tackling. So you will work with AI tools to tell your story, like I said, and your story or narrative must contain a written story, a series of images, and a theme song or a music track, along with this as a bonus narration or voiceover component, all put together on Google Slides. Okay. I have a note here that you're highly encouraged to base your project on your own lived experiences to tell your authentic story. That said, if you'd like to create a story for more of a fictionalized version of yourself, or even explore a blend of both reality and fiction, go for it. I think I think a lot of times we maybe tend to not center ourselves and put ourselves as the main character of what we're creating or something like that. But today we're going to have the license to actually tell our own story, use AI to tell our own story, and make ourselves the main character. So I'm excited to kind of like learn everybody's stories through that, and I want to give permission for everybody to be able to do that. Here are some details, okay? So for each of the component, for example, like the written story, I've added some instructions as to what it entails and put in some suggested AI tools. I want to say all of these AI tools are free to use. Some might require you to create an account. Probably most would require you to create an account before you can use it. But most, if not all of this, has a free trial, at least the last sorry, not necessarily free trial, but just are free to use, or they're free to use for a certain period of time. And so this is the last time I checked, which was recently. So hopefully that didn't change. All of these suggested AI tools are free to use. So there's images, there's a guide on how to use it. A guide on what it should entail, theme song and music. We never explored that in this class, but I'd love for you to go and explore how to create a theme song or a music track using an AI tool. And then, of course, there's a bonus narration or voiceover component. If you remember from day one of this course, I had that voiceover where I trained AI to kind of like say things for me. So if you want to try that out, the one I used is Speechify. So that one is an easy to use one. If you like to try that out, you can take a look at that too. And then, so after that, we'll come back. And I think given our group today, I would say you give a 3 to 5 minute presentation of your project and reflect on the use of AI in this Hack AI-thon challenges. I'm going to highlight this. Of course, what you do to like put your story together using AI is very important. And also as important, I'd like you to reflect on things like, okay, what AI tools did you use? And what were the strengths and weaknesses of the AI tools you use? And more importantly, were the AI tools you use able to bring all aspects of your creative vision to life? What aspects of the AI worked as expected, maybe exceeded your expectations, and fell short of your expectations? So as you're working with these AI tools, I'm gonna say that once again, yes, it's a very important component for us to be able to tell a story, etc. But this whole exercise is also designed for you to just put yourself into a world of AI tools and just fake it till you make it, kind of, just try to make things work. So I'm very excited for you to be able to experiment with that. My role here is that I would put you guys into breakout rooms, and I will circle around breakout rooms to check in with you, answer any questions you may have about platforms or any guidance you may want. I want to be able to like assist you with that. And then towards the end of the class, we'll all come back for a presentation to see what each other's stories are, what each other's has learned throughout the process, etc. Okay. So that's the instructions. Do we have any questions before I launch everybody into a breakout room to do this project-based learning? Any questions at all? Acacia.
So are we creating our own stories individually, or are we putting stories together as a group?
Own stories individually for today. Yeah, because everybody's stories is so unique. Thanks for the question. And with all of these that you guys are creating, right? With especially with the images and with theme song and things like that, put them into a Google Slides. So at the end, the Google Slides is what you would present. So like you're essentially like making a presentation of your story, but all the different components are kind of like created with AI. Okay. Any other questions before we start on the project? Okay. Can I get a thumbs up if you understand the instructions and you're good to go? Good. Okay. Hopefully you're excited to really play with these things a little bit. I look forward to your projects. Let me put some breakout rooms here. We have 2, 3, 4. We have 15 minus 2, 13. And create 4 breakout rooms. Okay, so I'm going to open the rooms now, and I'll check in with you in no time, okay? Have fun. All right, see you in a little bit. You have about 50 minutes.
Is it because he has like 4 listed? I don't remember
Hi,
which one he
Mai.
used.
Hi, we're all back in the main session
Oh,
now.
got it. Okay, cool.
Hello everybody. So it is 1:05 p.m. Eastern time, and I got a chance to check in with everybody, and really I learned a lot, honestly, and everybody is making very different progress, having different approaches. So it is presentation time. I would say if you are rushing to wrap certain things up, feel free to continue to work on it while we see some presentations. But yeah, so before we dive into the presentation, I want to give some guidelines here. So not everybody has to present. Don't worry about it. Not gonna force everybody to present. But if you're passionate about sharing your product and also what you learned from it, we'd really love to hear from you. I'd really love to hear from you to see what your takeaways are. But here, I'm gonna say one thing, which is when you present your project, of course, it's important to like showcase what you created. And like I said before, as importantly, please also share with us the AI tools that you use, what strengths and weaknesses, what were the strengths and weaknesses of the AI tools you use, and most importantly, from there, was the AI tool able to bring all aspects of your creative vision to life? What aspects of it surprised you, worked as expected, or exceeded your expectations, or fell short of your expectations? Okay, that reflection is very important for your presentation as well. So with all of that said, do we have a brave first volunteer who wants to showcase what they've been working on? I know I had a lot of great conversations. So I'm gonna pause for like 30 seconds to a minute, let you think if you want to step forward. Okay, Jasmine. Great. Jasmine as our first presenter. Jasmine, I think maybe you were trying to come on camera or something.
Yes, I'm trying to. Zoom is having some
There we
opinions.
are.
There we go.
We see
All
you.
right.
Okay, go
Yes,
for it,
hello.
Jasmine. I'm so excited. Okay. So yeah, I'll put a timer so everybody gets a chance to go. 3 minutes, share what you did, and also, like I said, as importantly, your reflection on the use of AI, okay?
Yeah. So I did a lot of editing last night, so I'm pretty like creatively spent. So I basically like worked with the AI directly to not only do a lot of creative lifting, but also a lot of the like word count. And I was like, can you just do all of it actually? Like just do all of it. So I basically had ChatGPT help me write a script, and then I used
And
basically using interview questions.
Jasmine, if you want to share your screen to kind of
Yeah.
like demonstrate what you've done as well, I think a visual
Sure,
component would help.
sure. Pardon me. Well, okay, let's do this. So this was the video that we ended up coming up with, but before that, we ended up doing an interview. There we go.
Yeah.
So essentially, I just had ChatGPT chat with me a little bit, and then it spat out a script that is supposed to be about 3 minutes. And then I ended up not using a Sora, but a GPT that somebody potentially made based off of Sora. And this, let me see if I can share my audio too. Let's see if it works. I haven't used Zoom before. Share computer sound.
Mm.
Go.
Yeah, I see that we should be able to hear your stuff. Okay.
Excellent. All right, so here we go. I'm excited because I haven't really watched it myself. Let's see.
A premiere, okay.
Where does Jasmine Glancy's story begin? Ohio, a quiet suburb, a big family,
That's
and
stock
one
image.
quiet kid who preferred the company of animals over people. Even back then, she found peace in caring for things, especially those that couldn't speak for themselves. Then came Mao, a sick, angry little cat who didn't trust anyone, except Jasmine. She was the only one who could give Mao her medicine without a scratch. And when Mao finally healed, something clicked. That's when Jasmine understood what healing really meant. Not just medicine, but patience, trust, and love. After earning her GED, Jasmine stumbled upon an Animal Planet series, people nursing orphaned animals back to health. That was the spark. She thought, I want to do something just like that. And she did. 2 years of study later, Jasmine became a registered veterinary technician. She spent 5 years in a specialty hospital, long hours, hard cases, but deeply rewarding ones. Her favorite part? Seeing a pet too weak to stand 1 week, run through the doors the next. But sometimes, healing meant helping them let go peacefully. She learned both sides of compassion there. Eventually, life threw a curveball. Chronic illness made those physical demands harder. So Jasmine shifted, from the hospital floor to the world of tech administration. At first, it felt like a loss, but soon she realized maybe she could heal in a new way. By fixing the systems that stressed her coworkers out, by creating smoother workflows, calmer days, better care. And the best part? Seeing her old teammates light up when they said, "We've been waiting for this forever." To Jasmine, that felt just like giving Mao her medicine again, just a different kind of healing. Today, Jasmine designs technology that helps hospitals run better. When she talks about healing now, it's not just about animals. It's about growth, resilience, and making things better than they were before. Because in her world, healing isn't just a job, it's a way of life. Settings: relaxed podcast-style narration with ambient sounds, light acoustic
I like that
music,
it talks about the settings
occasional
too.
clinic background noises, and subtle tech ambiance, keyboard typing, mouse clicks.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Okay, well, some claps for Jasmine. Cool. So I want to turn the stage kind of over to everybody else. Anybody has any questions for Jasmine about this project or feedback?
So this is one of the tools that run the assignment in video. Is that
Yeah, it was like
But I just wanted the confirmation. So how did she get it together? Did you like tell it to lead it your script and tell me like create a video? Like I guess I
Yeah.
don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I was like, here's this Google Doc. Can you make a video? And they were like, sure. What kind of video do you want? And then it was so the settings that it read off, like those were the exact answers to the settings question. So like relaxed podcast style narration with soft ambient background music and noises. And then once it did that, it thought for a really, really long time. And then
Understandably.
yeah, it totally, like I was asking it to do like everything. But yeah, that's it was interesting. Like I didn't think it could do like all of it.
Yeah, that was really nice. Looked like a really nice production video. And
Thank
your life
you.
is
So,
really interesting.
what tool was that in video?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jasmine,
so
can you share the link in the chat? I think everybody
yeah, let
is
me
very
see.
curious about it.
First of all, yeah, really loved your video. Great work.
Thank you. Let's see if I can drop that link.
And did you so all those videos images were created by the software itself, right?
Yeah, yeah. So some of the GPTs, it looks like they redirect to other things. So this
Mm,
GPT in ChatGPT redirected to this, and then it had like a, hey, you're using tools outside of ChatGPT. So, you know, it had like a responsible AI disclaimer for like if you were gonna like use your voice, it's like, hey, you know, this is another tool outside of ChatGPT. So like we can't be held liable if
mhm.
something happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, let me drop this in chat for y'all.
Yeah, I wanted to, yeah, Jasmine, if you share that link, if everybody's actually able to access that video. I actually have a
Yeah.
comment actually, and then we'll move on to another presentations because I'm really excited to look at everybody's projects. So what's actually happening behind the scenes, right? Is there's a lot of stock videos, short videos. The videos themselves, just FYI, I don't believe they were AI generated on the spot. But this AI tool puts together existing footages that fits the narrative that Jasmine ended up providing. That's actually what's happening. And part of it is, this is great, you know, and Jasmine's project is great. Part of a lot of what we see online now in social media are like AI slops generated this way. So like, you know, people who farm content and try to like monetize content literally would do this. And then you would see some nonsensical video about a story of a dog who lost his home, and every video would be like a different dog, but like some people also fall for it kind of thing. So I'm glad like you kind of like brought this to up because it's also used to create a lot of like nonsense online now, which like at least now that we've seen this before, if the future on social media you spot something like that, you're like, I know, you know, this is kind of like how it's generated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave the human medicine by mouth when I was talking about giving my cat oral medication. So that was a pretty good red flag that it was not
Yeah.
human made.
Yeah. And of course, if you want to fine tune it, you can download it and then have that serve as a base and then like start editing it that way. That's a lot of how AI can actually help, like not to outsource all the work to AI, but have AI use that as a base. So great, Jasmine. Thanks for sharing. I'm glad we sparked some really good conversations there. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Okay, Heidi.
I mean, I didn't get finished, but I can sort of talk about how my process and so I started out by writing my story up here. And then I asked Gemini to rewrite this vignette with a comedic style. So it rewrote it. And then it was a 5-paragraph story. So then I took each paragraph and put it into Sora to do an illustration. And so it gave me 5 anime slides for like each paragraph of my story. And then I was trying to figure out a way to get this story read. So I tried Speechify, and anyway, that's where I got stuck. Was getting the script, and then I would have gone through and added the script to each one of these slides.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Heidi. Good job. I have a few questions, and then everybody else who has questions can ask you. So how did you get the images to like look like you?
So I basically used the same prompt for each image, but I changed it a little bit to show that I was getting older. So like in this, so I would take the prompt, I would use the same prompt for each one of these, but I changed it. Like this one said, show a little girl. This one said, show a teenager. This one says, show a college student. So to kind of show that I was, that it's me, but getting older. And then I think because I was using Sora and I was using the same prompt and I was asking it to be an anime style, that's why like the colors and the size and everything are luckily, kind of held the theme.
Some consistency, yeah. With image generation, consistency is usually the most frustrating part. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions for Heidi?
I would love to know what a good tool would be to provide a script and then have it read, maybe with different voices, if anybody knows a good tool for that.
Yeah, so I know that you try to play with Speechify a little bit. If you want to chat after, we can maybe explore it a little bit. Speechify is a good one, and there are other under the tools, the narration thing. I'm just curious, really quickly, what about Speechify did you maybe struggle with a little bit?
It looked like it wanted me to sign up for a paid account. And I wasn't ready to commit.
No. Maybe they changed the model, but there are definitely some like narration tools that are free to use. Well, we can take a look after if you're interested.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Heidi. All right. We still have time for maybe 1 or 2 more presentations. Who else wants to go? And Dolly, go for it.
Yeah, sure. So my presentation is not finished yet, and I'm still struggling to finish, but this is what I come up with the short time. So this is my presentation. I don't know if you can tell what the story tells, but the same way, I think I also did the same way the earlier presenters did. I first created story using ChatGPT, all my story together, and I also asked ChatGPT to give me some images that I can use as a prompt to other tools that you mentioned, right? I started using Sora, but I had so frustrating experience with that software because it wasn't generating images, and the images it was generating were not what I wanted. It generated so many male images if I forget to say female images. And then when I say engineer, it's not software engineer. So I was not happy with that. So I went back to ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT to generate images one by one, and I was pretty happy. It did generate some images for me. It's not perfect. I would love to see the same character throughout the story, as I think Heidi mentioned. It didn't, but I didn't have that much time. But I can refine it later on when I have time and create better pictures here.
Nice. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Do we have any questions for Gandali? Okay, I do. So Gandali, so one thing is I'm going to share the link to this AI tool in the chat. So Leonardo AI, it's a free to use AI with image generation that I believe has a little more consistency. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's kind of like what I know Leonardo AI for. So I welcome you to try that and kind of like let me know if it is. And Gandali, what you mentioned a little bit about the frustration, but did anything surprise you about using AI to complete your project? Was anything surprising?
Yeah, surprising thing is if you know the tool well, I think you need to know the right tool. And once you know that, I think it's just a very productive way of putting together. I think Jasmine already demonstrated that how quick and easy and professional work we can do if we know which right tool we can use.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the takeaway that, you know, you need to learn your tool. Okay, good. Thank you, Gandali. And I think we have time for one more quick presentation. Anybody wants to go? Our last presentation for today. Anybody feels passionate?
I didn't have a presentation, but I did want to mention something about what I learned. I was like fighting with AI at the end, where I didn't get any slides started. So I asked the AI the GPT that I was working with to make me slides. And then it's like, okay, one last thing before I make I asked it for a Google slide file. It's like, okay, one last thing before I do it. Do you want it light theme or dark theme? And I'm like, I want it like, and they're like, okay, but answer this question before I make you this file. And then I'm like, just give me the file. And they're like, okay, we'll give you the file. Just answer me one last question. And I'm like, give me the file now, make all other decisions for me. And then it's like, I can't actually make this file, but here's some steps how to make this file. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It was very frustrating.
Good,
Like,
thanks.
it kept me there hanging out, trying to get what I needed when I really needed to stop and go somewhere else.
Yes, thanks for sharing. A lot of generative AI is trained not to say no, not to say I don't know. So that is a very very interesting experience. And I remember hearing from somebody that somebody was trying to generate a music track on ChatGPT as well. I didn't think that was going to work. I forgot who that was. But they probably encountered the same thing, which is ChatGPT is kind of baiting you, and then like it doesn't have the capability to do that. Cool. And Gloria mentioned in the chat similar experience. Very good. So I hope you know, if you want to continue with your project, please definitely go ahead. But as usual, so let me start to wind down the class a little bit. Good job to us. We are almost at the end of a 4th session. So once again, can everybody take 30 seconds to a minute to just put one key takeaway into the chat? What's your key takeaway from today, from doing some project-based learning with using AI to tell your story? I'll pause you for about 30 seconds to a minute to let you put in your responses. Okay, I like what Jasmine's saying there. Realistic expectations. Okay, we need to have realistic expectations and to give it explicit instructions. I think that overlaps with what Gandali's experience is, that if you don't specify things, like with engineer, they don't give you a software engineer. You have to be very specific and explicit with it. Heidi says, I have a sense that the tools can do much more than I think they can, but I'm limited to my skepticism. Okay, yeah, and it's all about experimentation and see how far it can get, and about learning too. So I'm glad, you know, you're starting this journey, Heidi. Gandali, you can build a pretty professional end product easily now with AI, which wasn't possible before. I would say that that will be done in days. What could be done in days can be done in minutes. Agreed. Jillian, patience, but the results can be amazing, and as demonstrated by all the ladies. All right, awesome. Nice key takeaway. I'm gonna maybe wait for a few more. I know a few more of you are typing. He says it takes a lot of work, creativity, problem solving, and time. Yeah, I thought AI was supposed to help us save time, but not all of it. And you know what, Kitty, I would say that's a good thing, because if like we don't do that, then what does it mean to be human anymore? What does it mean to have like a brain anymore, really? So I'm actually really glad that even with AI, we still need to put in the work and time that stops us from like decaying. I think that's important. And while Acacia worry that using this can take away from personal creativity, but found it enhance what I had. Yeah, very good. I asked an AI user, to even sometimes create lesson plans and things like that. I'm also trying to find a balance between like, I don't want it to rely it too much, because I have to say this really quickly. There's this theory that like soon enough, things all over the world, whether it's on social media, on digital platforms and whatnot, will be so much of it would be AI created, like 95, 99% would be AI created, that we will start to appreciate things that are less perfect. We would start to seek out things that are actually human created and stick a much higher value to something like that, because everything else would just be so perfect and created by AI. So I think that's an interesting theory. And then Audriana, AI is really creative and can create great things. You just need to be specific. It still needs our input. Good. Keep it coming. I'll read them all them after. And here, I'll give you a preview. Next time around, we have a second Hack AI-thon challenge. It's a different one, but I want to give you a quick preview, okay? So that you can start ideating on what you may want to work on. But you're not going to work on it yet, but just ideate a little bit. Next time, you will work with AI to create an imaginative product, imaginative project centered around an innovative product. So your the whole challenge for next time is that you would create a product that's very different from telling your story, using very different tools. And you will actually use a platform called Gamma to like make a presentation for you. That's also something you experience using like a presentation creating AI tool. But of course you have to give it the input, but I would love for you to start ideating before Tuesday. What problem are you trying to solve? Like it's like a very Shark Tanky, which is you can create anything you can think of. It doesn't need to be realistic, just something that solves a problem. So you can start thinking about like what innovative product you would like to pitch to a group of potential investors. Okay, that is the preview. I would say, Gloria, I don't want to share the link to the docket because I just want you to ideate a little bit, and then I would like for everybody to come together during the class to actually look at the tools and try to put things together like within the time constraint that helps accelerate the learning a little bit too. So I'm gonna like purposefully not share the link. Okay, with that, I also want to mention, I think the calendar invite, the other Katie confirmed that she also received a 7:15 calendar invite for Tuesday. So I think we're going to start at 7:15 on Tuesday. Okay, I look forward to seeing you there. And finally, as usual, there's a 2-minute survey that you can do to give me a sense of how today went for you, etc. So I can continue to lesson plan based on that. But really, we have 2 more. We have Hack AI-thon challenge number 2, and we have vibe coding next Saturday, which I'm also very excited about. That's it for today, really. I'm here to chat. I know, Heidi, you have a question. Maybe you can chat a little bit about that. But yes, thank you, everybody. I'll see you on Tuesday, okay? Thanks for being here. Have a great Saturday. All right, bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.